Hey guys, this is Norby David of the band Overtone. I'm the bassist and one of the vocalists of the band, and I just wanted to show you guys my my rigs. So this is my bass rig. This is what I use for my bass. Overtone is a three-piece band. We have an album. It came out a couple years ago, but we are predominantly a cover band, and a lot of the songs that we cover are of bands that have more than three members, because Overtone is just a three-piece group. So we gotta compensate and cover a lot of the holes. So we use a lot of effects. So a lot of people have been comparing my setup with the basis of Royal Blood, because he does two signals. One is of the clean bass, and he does an octave over that. And it is, and it was really nice to find that out. I've been performing for about, I don't know, with this rig about maybe 13, 14 years. So it was nice to find out that that somebody kind of thinks the same way I do. We're just kind of greedy and we want to downsize the band a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, it was nice to find that out, and I saw a lot of videos of people trying to emulate their sound. So this is my version. I didn't really. That wasn't really my goal, but coincidentally, it's pretty much the same. We pretty much get the same result. Anyway, so here we go. Let's start with the board. My board is a custom board. I had it made, and it was a collaboration between myself and Emil of Pedal Max and JR of Just In Case, both of them from Marikina. And so here we go. So Emil took care of the power. So there's the power supply, the power source, and the what do you call this? The routing panel. And JR took care of the actual board and the flight case. So yeah, let's start with this. So the power supply is pretty much a glorified extension cord that I integrated into the board. I had Sir Emil put two switchable outlets, so they can be 110 or 220, just in case I have adapters that run on 110. And coming over here to the routing panel, this is the input, my mono jack input. Normally it's my wireless, but now I'll just go straight cable. So that signal gets split into two, and then it runs into the whole chain, and these are my output panels. So it's kind of like a BCB6 or something like that. Anyway, so signal A in the green, signal B in the red. So signal A goes into tuner, which goes into the MXR compressor, and then into the Boss LS2. Signal B in the red goes into the EHX micropog. Then, the micropog's a modded micropog. I had this little switch put in so that I can select which octaves are active. So I had that. It's a modded micropog, and then it goes into the Zoom MS60B multi-stomp digital effects. So this is where I add all of the effects. And then that goes into the EHX Switchblade Plus. That gets split into two. One of the lines here goes into my vocal processor, so I can get the key of the songs and do the right harmonies. And then the other signal, again in the red, goes back to the LS2 again, and so I mix the two signals here, and then the LS2 goes into the MXR DI Plus, so that I can do an overall EQ of the entire chain. I could also add probably overdrive or distortion into the signal A chain if I wanted to. Plus, I have XLR out, so I can go straight to the sound system. And then this output of the MXR of the DI Plus goes back into the panel, and then I just plug another cable here into the front panel, go straight to an amplifier. So that's pretty much the layout of my board. This is just my wireless receiver, so you can ignore that. So I'm gonna prepare my bass and let you guys hear it. So I'll be right back. So here we are, guys. This is my pedal board, and I am ready. I got my bass. I was using a 5-string SX bass. The EQ on my bass is just all all flat. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, let's start with signal A. That is the tuner, and then the MXR compressor, and then it just goes straight into the LS2. So I use the compressor to even out the sound, because some strings tend to be louder than others, especially when you get to the low B string. It tends to be boomy, so I just use it to, just take control of that a little bit. So yeah, so this is my clean sound. So that's my clean sound, and yeah, just compression, and so that concludes signal A. So let's mute that, and now we can concentrate on signal B. So signal B starts with the micropog. It's a modded micropog. You see this switch over here, right there. I just had that put in so that I can select with my foot which signal I want, because it tends to get very fiddly, and being a bass vocalist, I can't always just bend over and control my effects, right? So while I'm singing, I'm just toggling the switch, and I can do whatever I want. So anyway, let's I'm gonna show you what this switch does. So I'm gonna make this clean first. So my signal B is now it's all clean, right? So with the micropog engaged, you'll notice my dry signal is all the way down, so you can hear what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna put my switch all the way to the left, so now it just engages the sub-octave. See, that's just the sub-octave. And then I can put it in the middle. Now it's in the middle, and it's both octaves together. See that? And then when I move it all the way to the right, it's just the octave up. See? So that's what that does. That's what that switch does. Okay, then moving along, we move to the multi-stomp. My multi-stomp is where I put everything else. Basically, just everything else. I have an EQ for the micropog, and then after the EQ, I put my distortion or flanger, and then after that, I put an amp sim. But being a bass effect, it only has, of course, bass amp simulators. So I just tried to, get the best possible results. So yeah, so first, okay, I just put in this clean patch just so you guys can hear the pog, but I use pretty much two patches, just the flanger patch and the distortion patch. My flanger patch is basically, here, let me, okay. So basically my flanger patch is 3 stomp boxes. The graphic EQ, bass flanger, and my amp sim, which is an SVT. So there you go. And then I move over to the distortion patch, which is pretty much the same EQ and the same SVT settings dialed in, but I just replaced the flanger with the distortion. And I kind of went a little farther than that, and I added a pitch shifter. So let me show you that. So this is the pitch shifter. Basically, what it does, I added a note seven semitones up, so that I can get kind of a power chord effect when I'm playing. So right now this is just the distortion, and then I can add the pitch shifter. Right? So it sounds okay, right, when it's just the bass, you know. So now I'm just but when you add the micropog in, you know, in the octave up setting, it becomes a nice guitar sound. It even has a nice little feedback overtone to it. So that's what I do, and of course, yeah, sometimes I add the pitch shifter in when I'm doing chords, like when our guitarist is doing solos, I do. See, so I do that, but not all the time. A lot of the time I just do single notes. Like one of the songs that we cover pretty much is the reason why I put this board together. It's the song You Wanted More by Tonic. So yeah, so I added this, right? So, you know, while the guitarist is doing other stuff, like there's this really droning chord. I think it's just he's just doing that. So yeah, so I added, you know, this chain just to fill things up. So there you go. And then, so yeah, that's it. So I'm in distortion, there you go, and my octave up is on. Let's hear it with the clean sound in. So there, you know. And then to mute this chain, I just have to step on this. There you go. And then when it's muted, sometimes I want to distort even my clean sound, you know. That's where my DI plus steps in, and so there, I can do that. And then with that I can actually do this, and both of them, it's really heavy, and then I can put my octave down. See, it comes really ballsy and all that. So, you know, I just put this board together for situations like, what if I need to sound like this? That's what I put it together for. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you guys understood the stuff that I explained. Yeah, and I'm gonna be moving on to my vocal board. Well, my vocal effects. It's not really a whole board, but I'm gonna get to it. So I'll set that one up and let you guys see it. So here we go. Thank you.